How long has it been? You guys, it feels like it's been up to like 4 years since I posted a video last. I know it's not been up to 3 months. I posted in December, but this year I have not posted any video. I put out a wedding video on my vlog channel, but for this channel, nothing. So I'm going to start by saying Happy New Year, guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, and all the good stuff. I don't know if this is the right video to explain why I've not posted since, because we're here to talk about a reality show from Ebuka. But just to briefly talk about that, for one, I've been quite busy this year. A lot has just been like happening here and there, and then also this whole, would I call it creators block, or I'll just say that, like, you know, just that ginger to put out the video has not really been there, and then I didn't really want to divide my time like that. So plenty things. Maybe in another video I'll explain that. Sorry, I'll explain that, or maybe I will just leave them, right? You guys, you get it, right? So let me just get straight into what we are here for. Swear you don't know what you're here for. That just came to my mind. You guys know that meme? Swear you don't know what you're going to do here. I swear to God, I don't know. Moving on, we're here to talk about Ebuka turning up Africa. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the Ebuka show. In fact, right now, a lot of comments I've seen on TikTok have been made with regards to the show, like when it comes to Zubi and Timini, right? But we're going to get to that. So Ebuka produced a reality TV show. It's basically him exploring Africa with his friends, right? For this particular video, I'm going to just talk about episode 1. I have not watched episode 2 because I don't want it to influence my episode 1 thoughts, right? So I just want to watch it episode by episode and post it episode by episode. So let's talk about episode 1 of Ebuka Turns Up Africa. We're going to why am I rapping now? Why am I rapping? Is this how I've been rapping since? So I wouldn't put like videos here because I don't know what their copyright policy is like. The last time I posted a video from a review from a movie that was on Prime Videos, I got like the whole copyright situation. So they are very strict with their copyright rules. So for episode 1, it was just like the introductions. We had Ebuka just like talking about what the show is going to be about, and then he also just introduced himself. If you don't know Ebuka, Ebuka is a TV host. He's the host of Big Brother Naija, and then he also hosted Big Brother Titans, the South Africa and Nigeria, the one where we had the two countries combined. And then he's also a lawyer. He is married with 2 beautiful daughters. So that's just basically, you know, it's about Ebuka. He's also like an influencer, brand ambassador, and all of that. So at the beginning of this particular episode, or for this episode in general, let me just like say my thoughts. This particular thing has been on my mind since, let me just say it. Ebuka is an instigator, like instigator pro max. Like all the things that he usually does during like Big Brother whole thing, where he's like asking some questions. That's how he is, because that's the kind of vibe he brought to this episode 1 of the show, where he will just ask you a question that he knows will cause wahala, right? That is what he did. I just said, let me just point that out before we continue. But yeah, let's talk about the friends that went with him to Kigali. So first of all, we have Jimmy, right? Jimmy is equally a TV host. He describes himself as entertaining and full of life. So that's basically it about Jimmy. And then Ebuka said that he's like the most sensitive person in the group, and then we're going to talk more on that later. And then what else? Yeah, they showed his wedding, so he's married. Next we have Alistair. All right, Alistair, yes. Alistair was given like luxury, you know, this kind of guy that likes to look good, smell good, just, you know, that kind of vibe. And then Ebuka said that he is very hyper, and then sometimes it can be too much. And then he's a photographer. He is like a wedding photographer, right? And he has been doing it big in that field. And then we have Onoja. Onoja is there's a name that he called himself that I was hearing for the first time. He described himself as an impresario. Let me see if I can find impresario. I've not heard the name before, but like basically he's just that like go-to party guy, right? So I guess it just has to do with him connecting you to like maybe celebrities and helping throw parties and all that stuff, right? Because that's what the description was. And then they showed pictures of him with celebrities, and he's just like that party guy, and he gives this vibe of like, you know, calm, collected, you know, this kind of people that like to sit back, observe and stuff. And they also even said it, Timini mentioned it, Ebuka also mentioned it, that he's that kind of guy. So that's it for Onoja. And then we have Timini. Timini is an actor. Timini is the ladies man. He's the, would I say the signature ladies man, or yeah, he's like the signature ladies man. They call him like bad boy Tims. I mean a bad boy T. He's just that guy. So he's an actor, he's an influencer, and then he describes himself as the biggest actor in Nigeria. At some point he said Africa, but like he said he's the most bankable actor in Nigeria. More on that. Just take note of that. So we're going to talk more on that later. And then we have Zubi. Zubi is also an actor and a movie producer, right? And you know, these are the people that Ebuka invited. First of all, they didn't know the people that Ebuka was going to bring. They just knew that okay, there were going to be other people, but Ebuka did not reveal to them that these are the people that will be on this trip. So they were just there, you know, they came in one by one and they were waiting for the next person, anticipating and stuff. And from that point, from the point of meeting, I knew that there was going to be a little bit of drama, because we already had like Timini. There was a point where he did like the sign of the cross when Zubi came. It's almost like, save me Lord Jesus. So, and he spoke about Zubi being very dramatic. And then there was also a call out there at that meeting point in front of the private jets. You guys, I like the luxury, the show of luxury that they do for like most of these reality shows that we have. It's like just showing a different side of Africa. Not every time they show some kind of thing. So it just, you know, it's nice to see that. The cars, the dressing, just everything. So now they were in front of the private jets and they now had this whole thing. So Timini and Jimmy, apparently they are friends, but I don't think their relationship is like, you know, bestie type stuff. So there and then, when Timini came, he had this new hair. He was carrying a new look. And then Jimmy asked him about his hair, like, you know, what's the whole look about? The last time you saw him, he didn't have that. And then Timini was explaining that, you know, he has been acting as a bad boy in a lot of movies, so it's more like he's now wearing the bad boy look. And then Timini mentioned that the ladies like it, and he was now saying, you know, he never misses that. When has he ever missed in terms of his look and him just like showing up and looking good and all of that he has never missed? And then the next thing, Baba, that's Jimmy, now said, you never missed, but you missed my wedding. I say, hey, uncle, from where to where? Like, he's talking about something else, and then he brings his whole wedding discussion. So obviously that's what he had been carrying that in his mind since, right? So that was it for that scene. And then they entered their private jet. Aish, oh more enjoyment. People are enjoying. So they got on private jets, you know, just like chill vibes and everything. Everybody was still very chill, laughter, everything. And they arrived in Rwanda, and that place is beautiful. Like, you know, it's just so much greenery. It's just it's a beautiful place. And the place that they Ebuka put together for them was also very nice, right? So they got there and they settled down. Ebuka now started thanking them for honoring his invite. And they're like, you know, it's okay, anything for you. All this kind of emotional talk. And then Ebuka decided to bring out the gifts that he got for them. They were in boxes. And I was thinking that, you know how they do for like Real Housewives of Lagos. You know, when they go on trips like that, maybe they can be like lingerie, and just a whole kit, just a lot, yeah. And I was thinking that that's what it was. Maybe just some men stuff there. My dear brothers and sisters, Onoja was the first person that received his box, and guess what was inside? $1 notes, just $1. And then immediately he picked it up, was like, so this is what you think of me, or this is how you see me, eh? So, but he was saying it jokingly, and Ebuka was like, the things that he has in the boxes, it's not just random, right? They represent something, and each box is tailored to the person, and just something, there's a message behind it. For Onoja's own, he said it was basically about him, the fact that he likes money, so that represents his love for money, and you know, money goes till they come, more money, more money, more money. And then Alistair got apple juice. So his that's his signature. Apple juice is his signature, basically his middle name according to Ebuka. And then Zubi got a small box of sushi. So he had to like try it out for the first time, I guess. And for that, his own, the significance behind it is just basically for him to be open to exploring new things. Ebuka mentioned that he's not really open to exploring new things, especially in terms of food. And then Timini got he got CDs, and as the latest man that he is, he's like, okay, I didn't even carry some for this trip, so I appreciate that you got that for me. It means that you love me and all of that. So that was Timini's own. Jimmy got a picture of his wife. The picture had her like she was drawing her ears, and it was like, I'm watching you, I got my eyes on you type of thing. And I was like, yeah. This is so hilarious. And I get that, because even before then, when they were having a conversation about like what they would do on the trip, Timini was saying that he would like to have like, you know, babes just like moving around the house. The guy was like, that's Jimmy, was like, okay, I would like to watch you guys watch the girls, not watch the girls. So he's going to watch them watch the girls. He was just trying to avoid problem. In his confessional, he was now saying that his wife should understand though that nothing is happening, all those kind of things. So I think I get where the wife's picture situation is coming from, right? Now Timini also got gifts for the guys, right, which was very thoughtful of him. So when he brought out the gifts, he was now talking about like, you know, just coming back from Paris, and then at this point he mentioned being like the biggest artist, the biggest actor in Nigeria. And then there was this reaction, first. In fact, Zubi had this shock on his face, like, huh? You say what? What are you talking about, bro? And then they just laughed over it. Ebuka made a statement like, are you going to just let that slide? In fact, the statement Ebuka made about this whole thing, like, this is what he's saying, are you just going to look at him saying that? It was just like, you know how in secondary school, when maybe you're having a fight with somebody, and you know, you say something, the person will say something, and then others will now be like, just, do you hear what she said to you? You know, if I were to be the one, I cannot let that slide, you know, that kind of thing. Everybody you don't not be genuine, like, how can you allow that? How can you allow her to say that kind of thing? Imagine if I was the one, she can't try it. You have ginger. It will ginger you to just want to do something, throw a punch, whatever it is, Shabo. Just that whole thing of like, you know, poking and stuff. That is what he was doing there. Now, at this point where he said it, you know, they were still joking about it. Zubi was still trying to make light of the situation, but Ebuka did not let go. In fact, this even after some time, because at this point Timini had already shared the gifts and everything, Ebuka now took them back to that situation. He now said, Timini mentioned that he's the biggest actor in Africa. More like, he still brought up the whole thing of, are you not going to? Do you agree? More like, are you not going to do anything about it? And then Zubi now said, he's joking. And the way Timini looked at him, kind of like, you think I'm joking? I'm not joking, I'm serious. Ebuka now asked the question that just now blew my mind. Like, he now said, okay, do you think you're a better actor than him? Ebuka, how do you want somebody to answer that kind of question? Like, okay, he's not the biggest, I'm better than him kind of thing. Obviously, they're going to have like that whole fight thing between them where everybody is trying to dominate and show how good they are doing in their own field and everything, their own side. And then Zubi now said, you know, not to brag or anything, but he's the biggest actor in Africa. I say, get. Let's now do battle of who is the biggest. And the shades started from there. He said that Timini, nobody knows him outside Shagamu. That is only Lekki. It's only Lekki that once he leaves Lekki, nobody knows him. So Lekki is just basically a small place it's not so small, but like he was basically saying, if you come up for Lagos, if you leave Lagos, nobody knows you, Timini. And then as for him, that Zubi, he has been in the industry for a long time. He has conquered the YouTube market, DVD market. You know, when we used to watch movies with DVD, he's now into cinema movies. So he's basically an all-rounder and stuff. Now, speaking about him saying, when he spoke about cinema movies, Timini now responded to that whole cinema movies talk, right? He said that, you know, for him, when it comes to cinema movies, YouTube and everything, the numbers are there to you know, speak for itself. And that with cinema movies, Zubi, you know, started cinema movies when he had already done, maybe when he was already like maybe on his 77th movie, basically saying that when he had gone far with cinema movies, that's when Zubi, you know, started like coming into the industry and everything. I say shades here and there. And then Zubi actually agreed with him. He was like, yeah, for that one, I agree with you. You know, everybody gets your own lane. Everybody has their own lane where they're doing well. That's with cinema movies, Zubi hasn't done a lot of them. So it was like, yeah, he agrees that when it comes to that, he has done a lot. That's Timini. And then there's something that there's a part I missed with the whole Ebuka instigating stuff. So after Ebuka asked him that, Zubi, do you think you're a better actor than him? And he said, you know, he doesn't want to brag, but that he's the biggest in Africa. Ebuka still went on to ask him how. That's when he now started explaining, right? And all of this, Ebuka was dealing with a straight face of like, you know, how? Tell us how you're the biggest in Africa. So that's when he now started explaining himself. And I was like, Ebuka, So now, Timini now mentioned that for Zubi, he referred to him as, you know, just that local, he's into like the local movies and all of that, right? And then Zubi said that he should stop saying that it's not a local type thing, that it's original, right? And then Ebuka now supported Zubi. He made a statement in support of Zubi, saying that when it comes to social media following, that Zubi is actually bigger. If they're judging by social media following, Zubi is bigger. And then Timini now said that that's when Zubi's followership and fan base, a lot of it is based on the giveaway that he does and him spraying money here and there. And then towards the end of everything, that's not the end, but Zubisha said something that now touched Timini a lot. He said he doesn't mean to brag or anything, but you know, he can buy Timini. Hey, Timini was shocked, like, you know, buy me as how, like, how, what do you know I'm what, that kind of thing, like, what do you know I have? And he now went on to like yab Zubi that he thinks it's all these things that they used to do, like all these things that he does like with his friends, like he thinks it's by having friends, all his Igbo friends, where they will just like borrow each other's cars and use it to show off and everything. Jimmy was like, he said borrow each other's cars, like he was shocked that shade came out. And then it was just like a shade game at this point. In Timini's confession, I was like, he didn't want it to get to this point, he didn't want to fight, that this is the first day, so he was not ready for fights, but that, you know, next time he knows it's going to come up again and he'll be ready for that. Zubi was like, you know, in his confessional, these are confessional talks, Zubi was saying that he doesn't like this kind of thing, you know, to not make him seem like he's bragging and everything. For Timini's statements, I feel like it just came from a place of, you know, just trying to be like, you know, self-confidence kind of thing, or like trying to hype himself, right? Just like, you know, I'm the biggest, you know, like. But obviously there's someone else there that is also doing the same thing that you do, so that was going to be that thing of like, but the fact that they just joked about it at first, it was supposed to just die down like that, and then Ebuka now turned it into something else. But I believe that it was for the drama, because this whole scene, this part of Timini saying he's bigger, Zubi saying he's bigger, and all of that, it has caused like this talk on social media. There was a video of Zubi on TikTok where he was dancing. It's an old video, and then people in the comments were now saying, see, when he was doing that, Timini has not even thought about his career. And then when I saw that, I was surprised. I was like, so you all are watching this reality show and people are not saying so much about it. People are gatekeeping, because so many people could relate to the comments. So I was like, so all of you have watched this thing. So they now spoke about the basketball game. So they were Ebuka got tickets for them to go watch basketball. At first, Zubi was saying he didn't want to go. He ended up going, and he was like super excited about the game. Timini was now yabbing him in his confessional, saying that see somebody that didn't want to come. Now he's displaying all this his local attitude. I was like, now we are going to see all the shades being thrown in the confessionals because of that situation, right? So he just yabbed him in his confessional. After the game was over, they just had this whole fan base or fan situation where people came to greet them, and this is where the whole thing now was like, we're now seeing it happen in real life, right? So based off of what they said and what I saw, Zubi had like the most attention from people. Like, you know, according to Jimmy, he said there's one lady that came and she was just like, oh, I'm so excited seeing you. She was just like, you know, that kind of fan situation where the person is just so excited and all of that, right? And then other people too came to greet him. So he had more people that recognized him, you know, even more than Ebuka self. According to Jimmy, he was like, I think, was it Jimmy that said that? But they just said that, you know, they were expecting that, you know, Ebuka is the one that will get like known or the most attention based on who he is and everything. But Zubi got the most attention. So it was now a thing of, okay, you say you're the biggest, let's see your fan base kind of thing, right? So that was the whole situation there. Jimmy was like throwing shades at him in his confessional. So that was it for the game. And then the next day in the morning, Timmy was just there by the dining area, and then Onoja came to sit with him, and you guys, guess what this boy said? He was like, hey, that's when he saw him yesterday, like when he saw him, that he was just feeling like he was going to be the weakest link in the group. I'm like, what are you saying? Even Onaja looked at him like, huh? Like, you could tell that he was taken aback by that statement. But like, Timini now, you know, still made it up saying that, but that was just like the impression he had. But having spent time with him, he sees him as one of the smartest guys in the group, and that, you know, no offense, he shouldn't take offense by that and everything. I said, okay. He did not really take offense. I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. And then that's when he now mentioned that he feels like he's the kind of guy that just observes things, that he's very observant, and, you know, he just studies people and everything. So that's why he sees him as a very smart guy. I was like, okay. And he now yabbed his height. Timini yabbed Onoja's height, like, you know, more like, he said it in his confessional, but they took us back to the conversation, and the next thing they were comparing their heights and everything. So he definitely said something, but in his confessional he was just talking about, you know, confidence, him being confident. That's Onoja being a confident guy, you know, even though he's a short guy and everything. So they now stood up to check their heights, because Onoja was saying that, you know, Timini is not taller than him, but it turned out to be that Timini is taller than him. By the pool area, we had Alistair and Jimmy. They were just talking about the whole wedding situation, Timini missing his wedding. So Alistair was just saying that he didn't know that anything like that happened before. Jimmy was now saying, just expressing how he felt about the situation of Timini not coming for his wedding, not being, because Timini was supposed to be a groomsman, and he turned it down saying he was busy. So he spoke about it, saying that, you know, he was disappointed and everything, being that he valued him to the extent of wanting him to be in that position, right? Jimmy said that he would like to have a conversation with Timini, right? He was telling Alistair that he would like to have a conversation with Timini. Meanwhile, Timini was saying that he wouldn't like them to even have a conversation. He doesn't want to make a big deal out of the situation. In fact, he wasn't talking like he doesn't really care like that, and he doesn't want the whole situation to become so much of a big deal. He now made a statement saying that, you know, maybe if he gets married again, he'll try and attend that one. Wahala Pro Max. Wahala. So, Onaja even told him that, no, you shouldn't be saying that, right? And then, this was basically how it ended, right? The whole wedding situation, I can't really relate to people that take this thing so personal, because from the way they describe their friendship, it's not like their besties type of thing, right? And all these groomsmen, bridesmaids thing can be very tasking, can be very expensive too, can be very, it requires a lot. So sometimes somebody doesn't make it, I don't know, but yeah. Ebuka described him as like the most sensitive in the group, so this kind of things could be like something that he really takes personal. But for him to be bringing it up, I say, what's happened? That's the way I see it, but like, Timini is a case. He even said itself that his head is to touch sometimes, so I believe he acknowledges that his own self, something in brain, yes, in brain they touch sometimes. He's a case, basically. So I'm expecting more drama, right? I like that it's not just drama filled, and it's nice to see like a reality show with men, because it's hard. I don't think there's any reality show in Nigeria. How many we get? Any major, minor, there's no reality show that's just involves just men in Nigeria. I don't even think there's any in Africa. I'm not too sure, but I'm just going to talk about Nigeria. There's none in Nigeria, so it's nice to see it from like a male perspective, right? And I also like that this episode 1, even though there was a fight, it wasn't like serious this thing. But let's be watching, things can get more serious. Who knows? Let's be seeing it, because this Ebuka that we're seeing now looks like he's going to really push some buttons and get people to, you know, show the other side of them. Let's be watching. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to see you guys in episode 2. That will most likely drop on Tuesday, Abby, because I think I'll make it tomorrow and post it on, I think you'll see, just turn on your post notifications, and bye, love you.